Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2017, and this is week 27 of competition. I've made it past halfway. We're into the second half of my first year competing. This game's been in it since the start. And we've gone a long ways since the start of this series. Starting in the 2017 season with just an 8-19 record, we finished up this last year at 20-12. First time in a little while that we didn't win the tournament. We'd won it 3 out of the last 4 years. But we did qualify for the CIT tournament, and this was definitely a rebuilding season last year, as there were 0 seniors on squad, had a younger team out there, and we still managed to get 20 wins on the season. A little bit shy of where we'd been the last few years, but still a pretty quality season, to say the least. However, we didn't get out of the first round of the CIT. That was a little disappointing, but beyond that, it was a good year. A couple other notes, some awards. Erskine was Conference R, second team. Daniel Earl was the Defensive Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year was Daryl Erskine, our second team all-conference player, point guard. And with that, even though we didn't win Conference R, we did well enough to gain promotion, so we move up yet again. We are down up to Conference Q now, as you can see just how much we have worked our way up the ladder from the 23rd of 23 divisions. We are now 5 tiers above that. So here's where we're going to be playing this year. Massachusetts Lowell, New Hampshire, Portland State. Our non-conference rival is now in the same conference. We are 3-3. We've been rotating back and forth. The first couple of years we had no rivals, but we've been playing them the last, 6 seasons? And in that one game, it rotates home and away, and the home teams won every game, as far as I can tell, or at least from what I can remember. Cal State Northridge, Northeast Boston, New Haven, Connecticut, West Long Beach, or West Long Branch, but yeah, I think that's supposed to be West Long Beach, Fort Wayne, North Dakota, South Tulsa, Emmitsburg, who's climbed up a bit with us last couple conferences, so we are 3-4 against them all time. They were a team that had dropped down, and we caught up to them, so we've just a little below 500. Southeast Missouri, Southeast Louisiana, and Prairie View. So really only 2 of those teams have we played much. Well, Massachusetts Lowell, that's a few games. All right, this is an off-season special. We are heading into recruiting. And we're not going to look at ratings just yet, but here's the squad for this year. It's the same as last season. There are no changes. There were 0 seniors on the squad a year ago. So for this year, let's take a quick look at who the seniors are and what it is I'll need to replace. So Larry Zimmerman, the league leader in assists, is going to be graduating at the end of this season. Quick look, GPA, everybody should be good. Scales is a little bit low. Let's see, and 2 other seniors. And here they are, Ray Price and Daniel Earl. So those 3 are all really quality players. It will hurt losing them, but this season at least should be pretty solid. And I do have plenty of depth in that. Scales should be a really strong replacement next season. Feltz was pretty good, so Feltz should be stepping up. And Tahid, hopefully, is a big player for the future. So I'm really deep at power forward. I will not be looking for a power forward, even though I have one that is about to graduate. So center is an obvious position, as I will only have one left on the squad, and he'll be a senior next year. So I really should have had one last season, but nothing I could do with 0 scholarships to offer. I only have 2 small forwards right now, and they are juniors and sophomores. So next year, both being upperclassmen, I will need to get the next guy in line behind Williams and Ash. And so I will be looking for a small forward. And then for the other position, it will be a guard. 2 of these guys are walk-ons. So I have 5 guards right now. One of them is going to be heading out. But looking at what is left, not counting the walk-ons, both of these guys redshirted, and they're going to be sophomore and junior next year. So I think I can get by 1 more year without a point guard, and then recruit one next year. And then for shooting guard, if you take away the walk-on, I have a junior and a sophomore right now. So they're both going to be upperclassmen next year. So I need to get the next guy in line, brought in, and redshirting this season. So I'm going to try to get in a shooting guard, though it could technically be a point guard. All right, so we're going to take our first look at recruiting. This is day 1 of the recruiting season. It's the end of June. And we're going to take away, not small forward, take away power forwards. I do not want a power forward. So I will not be looking to grab one at all this season. And let's go ahead and just look at anyone, not even those with interest. Actually, let's start with interest. Who's interested? Okay, the list. Fairly short. We're still not up there in prestige. I'm getting a lot better at recruiting. I can go after players that don't necessarily want to be there, but let's go ahead and get each of these guys added to the list. This early in the recruiting season, you never quite know what might happen, so kind of get after everyone. Alright, there we go. That's the end of that list. And you never want to go wanting. You never want to leave best player available out. So let me see if there's anyone super high ranked that's interested in us. No. A couple of mediocre guys, so we'll leave that off. And let's get out there and look at everyone now. It's going to take a little bit to look through this, but I will do my standard looking at Oregon and Washington, as we are a team based in Portland, Oregon. And so we'll order them by state. Okay, just about there. There we go. Oregon. Starting right here. All right. We're going to add anybody to the list that's inside the top 1,000. Okay, 318. This is where I'm looking right now for that. And making sure that I'm still in Oregon. And then, of course, checking to see if they've already been added to the list or not. And that's it for Oregon. It's not a very long list. Okay, now Washington. There we go. And same thing, going for the top 1,000 that haven't already been added to the list. There's number 76, shooting guard. Probably go after him pretty strong. So far, these Washington recruits look a bit stronger. So, just outside of the top 100. Ooh, nice. Number 26, point guard. Yeah, see a lot of top 300 players here. Might have to start looking into California recruits here at some point. Getting strong enough on recruiting to do that. Take you off both lists. Oh, maybe I will keep you on the list. You're from Wisconsin, but ranked number 105. You never know, right? Okay, he was the only one not from Washington. And I am going to try to do something. That's a pretty short list. Not entirely happy with that list. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go all the way up to California. Probably should just be moving on to Idaho and not California as... oh no, region's Western. Okay, so yeah, that works. Alright, looking for guys in the top 500 here. Okay, I don't know why I can't add him to the list. Or anyone else. It's got to be a range. Or I can only go for a couple kids outside of the state. Yeah, look at that. Nothing's available. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, the list isn't that long. I've had a longer list. It's got to be getting further outside the area. I can only have so many. Like this guy and... It's weird that I keep getting interest out of Nevada, even though I'm up in Oregon. There's Montana, Arizona, Hawaii. So I do have some players from outside the area. Those that were on the interested list. Alright, so point guard. Ranked 26th overall. Low GPA on these top three guys. Gotta watch out for them. At least this one, 2.4, but he's junior college. So it's probably somebody who didn't have the grades a year ago and is at least doing enough to qualify. Alright, well, we'll start from the top. We'll watch film on these first guys. I'm not going to host any recruits today. We'll get started on phone calls once I've started these first 10. All right, so most of these guys are going to have this kind of message. Hello, coach. Look, I don't want to waste either your time or mine. I'm really not interested in coming to your school. I'm going to hear a lot of that, but that's because I'm a low prestige school. I'm not on their radar to begin with, but I'm a good recruiter. Not amazing yet. I've still got some ways to go to max that score out, but attribute-wise, I'm up there. So there's a pretty good chance that I can sway them, but it's going to take some time. So I'm going to ask them to give me 5 minutes of their time, and a lot of them are going to hang up on me. But eventually, I will crack many of those nuts. For example, there you go. Second man out and already he's going to give me a shot. So we'll start with parent info. Okay. And then we get into the pitch areas. Obviously, the interest level isn't there. Nice. Playing close to home, number one priority. That is a push that I can definitely get from him. And he answered everything. Wow, look at that. So I already know everything I need to know about this kid, and I can definitely push location. So that's a good start. But conference prestige is pretty high for him, meaning he's going to want to play in, like a Power 5 conference. Power 5 being like A through E. I'm way below that. But the location could be enough of a sway. Alright, well, I got 1 out of 4 guys. I not only got him unlocked, but I got all there is to know about him already. So that's a great start. Alright, so let's go ahead and get on to next week.
You have new mail.
So most years I end up with 4 scholarships to offer. I only have 3 this year. So that should make things a little bit easier. Bayan is an excellent player. Look at that. He is an A. And almost this entire group, at least on first look, are Bs. So that's already a good start. And Perini now has a little bit of interest. And then down there at green, he's ranked just 206. We've got some interest from him as well. Alright, I'm already on the call list, so let's go into making those calls. I'm going to go for that 5 minutes of your time, except for with Perini, who I've already got. There we go, we got through to this guy. This is Ross King, small forward. This is the one from Wisconsin who was ranked 105, and I was just like, okay, let's keep him on there. And now look at that. He's thinking about coming West Coast. And we almost got everything unlocked, everything but location, which for us, if he cares about location, that's not going to be helpful. But look at that. Academics are a strong one. That's good for us. Oh, there you go. See, parents. One was regional. The other one was West Coast. So, there you go. Okay. That's all the time we had. And we're going to go to watch list, update, and we'll get the next sequence of players to watch film on. Okay, and then I have 3 players that I can go scout live. Let's see, who's that going to be cheaper on? Any of these guys? There's one. We'll go scout him. And him. Might as well save some money here early on in recruiting. Those are all Oregon guys, which are cheaper to go scout. All right, summer camps are getting underway.
You have new mail.
And I will be attending the Las Vegas review this week. So that's about to go now.
You have new mail.
And there you go. All right. Quite a few players from my watch list were at the Las Vegas review camp. So I'll get some extra information on them. And look at that. Perini, one of the top players at the entire camp. Which probably means he's going to be way out of my league. I'm good at recruiting, but I'm not that good. I have been able to snag some decent players, but... okay, I think I'm already out of time on these guys, am I not? Yeah. Still in the same week.
You have new mail.
Okay, Houston Classic. That's the only camp that I was going to attend. I'm on a pretty tight budget. You can see I've only got $33,000 left for the whole season. Right, and let's get a look at that list of who to watch film on. This guy's cheap. Let's go scout him live. And this one. And that one. And that gets me a lot further down my list. Okay, I do have a lot of players on my list. Already started to get down there. I'm out of the B's and into the C's now. Okay, and we'll go for our call list. Still trying to get through to this guy. There we go. That's the third player on the list now. Excellent. We've got him completely unlocked, and it's location, playing time that he's going to care about the most. Got a chance on him, especially the location part. I'm out of time on calls, but yeah, I'm getting up there. I got 3 out of the first 5 guys on the list. I haven't really glanced at positions or like whose junior college this guy is. He is.
You have new mail.
Okay, it's all just summer camp stuff right now.
You have new mail.
There we go. That'll finish out the week for recruiting. Alright, lots of pluses towards the bottom of the list. Still plenty of guys I haven't seen though. I am on the watch list, so let's go ahead and get to that. It's a dead week, so I can only watch film here. Okay, I'm down to 7 after this, so next week I'll be able to get the last look at everyone when it comes to getting their basic attributes, or at least their initial look at their attributes. Okay, we're still trying to get through to this guy. No luck so far. And no luck on that one. This one I still have one thing to unlock, so let's go ahead and give him a call to get that. There it is. Number one priority, playing close to home. But he does like academics, so that's where we'll have to try to swing him to come to us. There we go, there's another one. And another. And this one didn't hang up on us after a minute at a time. Okay, do I already have these guys arranged for? Yes, I do. And it's a dead week, so there's not a lot going on, so we'll move on to the next week. Keep moving along. We are late into July now. Alright, watch this. Let's get that last group. Alright, there's the final group. Start recycling towards the top. And I'm going to scout this guy live. And this one. And that one. We're going to get a look at those top three players a lot more closely. And the guys just below them as well. Especially as some of them are already shifting away from Bs to Cs on further looks. Alright, this will get me a look at everyone, and then I'll be able to make my first round of cuts, like guys down here that have Fs. Especially for defense. An F on defense is an automatic, I don't want you to come to my school. I need strong defenders. Alright, call list. Here we go. Nope, still can't get through. Those two guys are being stubborn. Or maybe it's myself. I'm the one being stubborn. I've already gotten through to this guy. We got the parent info, but nothing else. Alright, we got everything on him. Location's big, and he's a Portland area guy. Hillsboro's just outside of Portland, so we'll have a pretty good shot at recruiting this player. He's ranked number 112. I would like to host him, but not yet, not yet. B at least at the moment, but I'll have to start comparing players before I start offering scholarships out. And we've already got some info on this guy. And we got one more piece. Okay, a couple summer camps.
You have new mail. You have new mail.
And this will progress the week, getting us to the final day of July. Okay, now I've had a look at everyone. So before I start watching film or anything like that, anyone who's not a defender is gone from the list. I wonder if this is in order. Yes, it is. Take off defense. Defense F. Defense F. Even if that improves slightly, it would only improve to, like, say, a D over the course of the season. So, and that's still not going to be good enough defense. I really don't try to recruit anyone below a C on defense. It's kind of the basis for my team. So all the Fs are definitely gone. There you go. That's all the Fs. And let's go ahead and update the list. Now the list is a little bit shorter. Still plenty of Ds out there, but they might improve over the course of the season, so not necessarily gone. Okay, so I've got the 1A and let's see, 6, 9, 10 Bs right now. So those 11 guys are definitely the ones that I would prefer to go after the most. However, there's no guarantee that that's actually where they're going to stay. That I have their attributes right or that their ranking is really right. I mean, here's one ranked 1300, and at least right now I'm looking at him thinking he's a B. Okay, I don't need everyone to be a scorer, but it does generally help. And look at that, they're all D's on defense as well. I might as well get rid of this group. Yeah, none of them are good ranked, high ranks. So we'll get rid of this group as well. Okay, D in defense, D in scoring. There you go, that's the end of that group. Alright, so my group just got a lot smaller, a lot more manageable. So all the totally non-scorers are done. And the worst defenders are out of here, though there are still some Ds around on the list. You can see this entire top group, at least, is C's and above. It's really just a few guys left here at the bottom. Alright, now I haven't done anything this week. Let's go ahead and make our calls, as that's the page I'm on. And I finally got through to the #1 guy on the list, ever so slightly anyway. I got no info, but I've at least unlocked something. And I got through on that guy, but he hung up right after. Okay, now he's fully unlocked. Already got parent info. Got a little further, we're out of time though. And let's go to the watch list part, because I don't believe I've set that for this week. Alright, I know there's going to be an adjustment to overall rankings here at some point, but not quite yet, as it's summer, so they're not playing ball just yet. So I kind of looked at what top 6 guys last time, so we'll go down to here. I don't think any of the top 6 were cut. But I don't think any of the top half a list was really cut. Okay, that's down to Turner now. So I got through center, Turner. So I got through Turner. It wasn't Tucker. Was it? I thought it was Turner. Ah, there's Turner. Okay. Still a quiet period, so we'll go on down the list from the guys below. Okay, Bellairs, I only have 2 guys left, Gibson and Bennett. Gibson and Bennett. As long as the rankings don't change, they'll still be at the bottom of the list. Alright, he did not go back into the not liking us mode, so we are making progress here. So much so that we just got all the information on him. He cares about location and playing time, two things that I could probably offer him quite well. Oh, we have had the second recruiting come in. Very minor changes at this point, as it's all still off-season stuff. Oh, I'm out of time on the calls. Okay, it just went under 30,000, which is not bad at all for middle of August. But of course, I'm only kind of just getting started, just scratching the surface. Right now, I don't have a list of recruits who are too interested. Green's the only one who has 2 pluses. No 3 pluses right now, but I let a lot of those guys go, because the ones who wanted to come to my school, well, I don't want them to play for me. So you deal with what you have. Alright, so here's Gibson and Bennett. So they are still at the bottom of the list, so that won't be a problem. Let's go ahead and make our calls first. Oops. Alright, we're getting there. Location, play, and time, another big one. Alright, so Gibson and Bennett. You watch film on them, get an update, and then since that will take me through the top of the list, or through the bottom of the list again, I will do another review of attributes here in a little bit and maybe cut out a few more players. Brown's the last guy right now. And nobody outside of maybe Green. He is from Oregon. Let's see about hosting him. He will accept. Okay. So Green's going to be the first one to come for a visit. Got to be careful with that, because if they tell you no, even when they hit a point where they really start to like you later, they could actually still say no. Even to players that have already given verbals or signed commitment letters to your school will still not come visit your school. So it's one of those, you screw it up once, you're done things. Whoever I've got selected right now, there you go, Gailey, has us as number 3 on his list. He was number 3 on the list a little bit ago. Dropped a lot, but I still see him as a B, so he could actually be a pretty quality player that would be willing to sign for us. Okay, Brown was the last one, but let's go ahead and take a look at, here's the guys that can't play D. They are the ones who are in danger. Let's see, last guy is Jones. Jones is just out of the list. But how is he otherwise? A lot of D's. And a point guard. I'm not really looking for a point guard necessarily anyway. So we're going to get rid of Jones. Especially for Junior college sophomore. Alright, here's my D's and below this player. Oh, and that's actually Jones, who I just took off the list. Let me start with other point guards. Are there other point guards? Williams, Johnson, and Bennett. Is there anything that's going to make me want to keep you around? This guy's pretty high on the list. 420. But a terrible defender. So he's gone, even though he's a higher ranked player. Okay, Johnson. He's okay with the ball. Not a good inside shooter. Great outside shot, though. And there you go. Terrible defense again. So, it's got to be gone. Okay, and finally Bennett. He's one of my only double plus players, but his rank is really low. Not a good scorer, but I don't need everyone to be a good scorer. He is a good ball handler. He's got a good outside shot. But he's just too weak of a defender. So there you go. Those point guards are off that list now. Let's stick to the D's on defense. There's only 5 guys left now. And let's see here. Brown is ranked pretty high, and Tucker's decently high, so I gotta keep an eye on these guys. Brown also looks like he might not even qualify for the school, but his other stats are all high enough, so we'll keep him on the list for now. Okay, what about Gord? He's gonna turn the ball over a lot. Junior college. And he's from Utah, so he's not even local, so I'll have penalties when it comes to trying to recruit him, so he's gone. Okay, Belair's. That is his only D besides blocking. And he's a shooting guard, so I don't really need him to be blocker. He can stay on the list for now. Hopper. Not an outside shooter, but he's a center. That's okay. Awful free throw shooter. Awful athleticism. Awfully sad that I've got to let you go. Okay, and finally, Tucker. Ranked 501. He's going to turn the ball over constantly. Cannot make a free throw. No athleticism. Gone. So, I literally have just one left now, I think. Oh, 2. Kept 2. Brown and Belair's. The only 2 D's left as defenders. No A's. That's kind of sad, but alright, we'll start putting calls in again. And I think I already have everything on you, don't I? I certainly do. There. Got ahead of myself on that one. Here we go. Here's one where I have partial information. There we go. He didn't want to give me the info. Which I'm doing so much better about that because I used to have It would take 10 times to get one piece of information out of guys. Okay, he's high on academics. That's good. I'm out of time on the calls. I'm also out of time on this episode. But you can see I've generated at least the beginnings of interest in most of the players left on the list. I've cut the size of this list down a lot. And it's only August, so I've got a couple months left of recruiting before things are going to drastically change and head into the season. I'll be doing that off camera. I'm not even sure which guys I'm going after at this point. Bayan would be an obvious choice, as he is clearly one of the highest ranked players, even if he's a point guard and I'm not necessarily going after a player. He's got very high attributes, but I have not compared these guys head to head at this point. Really just kind of looked at overall, other than the guys at the bottom of the list. But that's how I do it. I whittle the list down, I get it down to a bit while I'm kind of working those angles, getting those guys starting to generate a little bit of interest in them. And then over time, I'll start hitting them harder and harder, trying to grab those recruits, which I've had a pretty good record of late on that. If you look back here at that one last... Oh, history. It was team history. There we go. See, I didn't have the best recruits here in Erskine or Tahid, but they were actually a lot higher than that. You can see I've got a lot of top 300 guys. In recent years, 108. There's number 96. That's the highest I've had as a final ranking. But because of my prestige, players seem to take hits. Their ranking drops towards the end. Well, anyway, that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record.